Mbappé was touted for superstardom. Lightning quick with that razor-sharp movement. Soccer Awards Men's Player of the Year, Kylian Mbappé!
Kylian Mbappé, the name that rings out in blistering speed, clinical finishing and great talent. Since he emerged as a teenager, Mbappé has been acclaimed as one of football's brightest stars. But as his career goes on, one question keeps haunting the minds of every fan and pundit. Is Kylian Mbappé overrated? Now, in this in-depth analysis, we're going to go through his career, really examine performances match by match, and review the criticisms to determine if the French phenomenon deserves the praise. Mbappé's rise started with AS Monaco, where he made his first team debut at 16 years old. The breakout season that he experienced in 2016-17 was nothing short of spectacular, as he scored 26 goals in 44 appearances to help Monaco win Liga and make a surprising run into the Champions League semi-finals. Those outstanding performances earned him a high-profile transfer to Paris Saint-Germain in 2017, where he was one of the most prominent players of his generation. In PSG, Mbappé continued to exploit his incredible goal-scoring ability. Having scored more than 200 goals in 6 seasons, he clinched multiple titles in Liga and domestic cups. Among his many individual honours, numerous Liga Player of the Year awards and top scorer honours underline his huge impact on French football. Similarly, his international career for France has been one to reckon. At 19 years old, he contributed a lot to France's win in the 2018 World Cup. He was the first teenager to have scored in a World Cup final since Pelé. His performances then earned him the award of FIFA World Cup Best Young Player, further elevating his global stature. Summer 2024 finally saw Mbappé sign for Real Madrid in order to further cement his legacy with one of the most renowned clubs in the world. The move really lit up the fireworks, awaiting fans and analysts across the globe to see how he'll fare in La Liga and in the quest for domestic and European greatness by Real Madrid. However, Mbappe's start with Real Madrid has been rocky. Having scored 7 goals in his first 12 La Liga appearances, he is being maligned for not giving enough punch to his performances. The most embarrassing moment was when he missed the penalty during the 2-0 loss to Liverpool, further exasperating the already harsh criticism from fans and media. The criticism is no longer limited to on-field performances. Now it's been reported that Real Madrid overlooked a detailed dossier that described concerns over Mbappe's physical condition before he was signed, which brings into question his long-term fitness. What's more, his perceived weaknesses in leadership and inability to adapt to the dynamics in the team have created controversy among ex-players and analysts. Amidst the wave of criticisms, figures within the football community have rallied to defend Mbappé. Teammate Jude Bellingham branded the criticism over the top, venting his confidence in the ability of Mbappé to adjust and prosper. In a similar vein, ex-Real Madrid star Gareth Bale called Mbappé the best in the world, predicting an imminent comeback. A closer look at Mbappe's stats gives a more colourful image of his accomplishments. He has kept up an unbelievable goal-per-game ratio throughout his career, with 340 goals in 464 matches and 160 assists. These statistics embody his unwavering ability to produce offense and his marvelous capacity to influence games at the highest level of competition. When set against contemporaries like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, Kylian Mbappe's early career statistics stand on equal ground, if not even better in some respects. His goal-scoring record at such a tender age eclipses that of both Messi and Ronaldo during comparable phases of their careers, hinting at a path that leads towards similar greatness. Beyond the pitch, Mbappé has used his platform for good, philanthropy, with massive donations to several causes, to active participation in community activities, speaks to another dimension of his commitment to making society better than football alone allows him to build a reputation. Kylian Mbappé has transcended the sport and become a global brand, one of the highest paid athletes in the world. Signing with big brands like Nike, Hublot, and EA Sports proved his high marketability. Ranked by Forbes in 2022 as the world's highest paid footballer with an annual income of over $100 million, his image extends far beyond the sport. His charisma and undeniable star power have mesmerized the younger generation, but some critics insist that this attention off the pitch diverts his attention away from football. If commercial success is a measurement of his power, then does it overpower his performances on the pitch? Let us analyze the game of Kylian Mbappé. His strengths, of course, are forthcoming. A pace that leaves defenders on the ground, dribbling skills, and an uncanny knack for scoring in the pressure situation. There aren't many players who are as explosive and creative going forward as he is. Still, there are areas where he could elevate his game. Pundits consistently mention his defensive work rate and those occasional lapses in consistency during big games. When PSG or Real Madrid Madrid's struggle in the game, one sometimes gets the feeling that Mbappé steps forward to take over the team in a way that earlier superstars like Messi, Ronaldo, or even Zinedine Zidane used to. One defining characteristic of an elite player is the mental aspect. Mbappé often exudes a confidence that borders on arrogance, which is both his strength and weakness. His undying belief in himself pushes him to play at the top of his talents, while at times this conviction has caused friction, specifically his public row with Neymar over penalty duties at PSG. Such flare-ups naturally raise questions about his maturity and leadership qualities. That said, there's no denying the fact that Mbappé delivers in big moments. His displays in the World Cup knockout rounds have been nothing short of spectacular, especially his hat-trick in the 2022 final against Argentina to prove his mettle when it matters most. How does Mbappé compare to the all-time greats? At 25 years old, having already won a World Cup, he's achieved something that many great players could not. His goal-scoring record in the domestic leagues and in international competitions already stands alongside some of the greats like Thierry Henry at a similar age, but longevity separates the good from the genuinely great. Players like Messi and Ronaldo were at the top of the game for over a decade with continuous reinvention. For Mbappé to join that pantheon, he'll need to prove similarly that he can sustain his act over the long term as well, especially in Real Madrid where expectations are high. Many football fans around the globe will have mixed feelings about a Mbappé debate, as in Paris, he's a hero who elevated PSG to fame, and there is still soaring anticipation about an epochal player for the eyes of many Madrid supporters. Some contend that the criticism he faces is unjustified, pointing to his youth and the tremendous pressure he endures as one of football's foremost figures. The reality? It's a matter of perspective, and fans' views will invariably differ based on their loyalties, expectations, and personal experiences of brilliance or letdown. One of the truly interesting things about Kylian Mbappé is the way he helps to give a new definition to the modern-day forward. Not a classic number 9 or a traditional winger, he instead floats across positions, exploiting openings with his speed and by being razor-sharp. Starting on the left wing, he would often begin games for PSG before deftly cutting inside to fire his lethal right foot. On the other hand, his role at Real Madrid has necessitated a more central position, in which his link-up play and ability to stretch defenses have been crucial. This versatility is a double-edged sword. While it speaks to his adaptability, it also raises the question of whether Mbappé is really excellent in one role over another. Some would insist he still has a lot to learn in the art of playing as a striker in the center, specifically keeping the ball under pressure and scoring reliably inside tight spaces. That he can excel in so many tactical systems, though, speaks to his exceptional talent as a player. It's a profession that serves as its own metaphor for something far bigger: the giant expectations heaped upon modern footballers under the microscope of social media, which amplifies every success and sizes up every failure. Lives like Mbappe's are in the glare of an unending spotlight. Throw in the pressure of a €200 million transfer fee, non-stop comparisons to the Messis and Ronaldos of the world, and an insatiable appetite demanding a show each and every week. It's easy to label him overrated when, after all, few players have achieved what Mbappé did at his age. But the commercial nature of the modern game means that every misstep, be it a missed penalty or unremarkable performance, will be looked upon in some way as a stain on his record. This debate about Mbappé reflects more broadly on how we, as fans, engage in and critically view the game in our time. Longevity is a hallmark of genuine football greatness. Icons like Messi and Ronaldo did not just rule for a few seasons, they kept their supremacy over a decade, continually adapting, reinventing their game from one season to another. The real question to Kylian Mbappé would be if he'll retain the same abilities with regard to keeping up the performance levels with the flow of time. His game physically is predicated so much on explosive speed and acceleration, things that most of the time slowly erode away. How he adjusts when his physical abilities begin to diminish will determine his place in the memory of footballing lore. Will he develop a more cerebral approach to the game, dependent more on positioning, finishing and playmaking than athleticism? Players like Cristiano Ronaldo have made that transition, developing from a dynamic winger into a deadly striker. Mbappé has shown glimpses of that remarkable versatility already, but the next decade will tell if he can ride this momentum into greatness. So, is Kylian Mbappé overrated? Well, that depends on what one believes makes a player great. His statistics, awards, and general impact on the game are undeniable to most, which should make him one of the most exciting prospects of his generation. Still, the burden of expectations ensures that each missed opportunity and every lackluster performance is going to be magnified. One thing is for sure, the Kylian Mbappé story doesn't end here. He's done more than most players can dream of, but now he stands at a crossroads in his career. At Real Madrid, he'll have the possibility of further cementing his status and silencing critics once and for all. Rising to this challenge, he could finally write his name among the legends of all time. Only time will tell. Now it's your turn to take center stage. Do you think Kylian Mbappé is overrated, or is he just the victim of unattainable expectations? Let me hear your opinions in the comments comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for more in-depth exploration of the beautiful game. Until next time, let's keep on celebrating the beautiful game and the players who make it unforgettable.